think something like me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Walking with Walfinch, the Vegas edition. Today I've got Lissa Walega from Ziebart. So, how are you?
I'm doing great, It's a great conference, great kickoff here at the IFA 2026 conference, and just happy to be with you.
The feeling is very much mutual.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember how we met, Larissa, but...
I do. I'm sure it was at an IFA event.
Yeah. We were on a round table. I was like, this lady's super smart. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, it was incredible. Years ago now.
Yeah. So tell me, what is Ziebart and what do they do?
Yeah, so Ziebart is the largest automotive aftermarket, aftercare really franchise in the world. We're celebrating 67 years this year. And what's so great about it is that, especially in the franchise world, we are only one of 50 franchise brands that has celebrated 67 years.
I mean, sorry, one of how many brands?
50.
What?
So think of how many franchise brands there are in the world, right? Wow. And we're only one of 50 that have been around that long. So about 32, 35 countries, give or take, and just continuing to expand.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And is it still privately owned?
It is still privately owned. Interestingly enough, we're also a gem there. We are an ESOP. And an ESOP, if you know anything about that, is an employee stock ownership program. So we are actually the owners of the company.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so how many sites and revenue and all of that fun stuff?
Yeah, so about 400 locations worldwide, specifically in the US, about 100. We're looking at definitely over $100 million in revenue. Our AUV tends to be about around 1.3 million with a gross of over 50%.
Wow,
so
that's some serious gross, isn't
it? It is some serious gross, and it's not gross.
Yeah, not at all.
So we're super proud of everything that our franchise owners do. And continue to do to really elevate the brand. In fact, we have our conferences coming up here 3 days after our conference that we're at right now.
I mean, that is too much Vegasing, I've got to say.
It's a lot of Vegasing, but we're really excited to bring them back all together.
So I imagine along the way, along these 67 years of being
I mean, I don't look
elite
67.
Group, it's not at all. 6 or 7,
Right.
6, 7.
6, 7? Oh, no.
You've got kids too.
Oh, no. You went there.
Oh my God, yes. I'm now that uncool uncle.
You got to.
So,
I know.
So you've obviously learned a few things about marketing and lead flow and et cetera, you know, on the consumer side and the franchisor side. And I wonder, you know, if you were advising me as a franchisee on saying, right, this is how you spend your marketing, as you would say, dollars. Right? Dollars are no good for me, but okay. So
Thank you.
So, but you know, if somebody's spending their marketing dollars, where are they spending those? I mean, what would you do with that?
Well, interestingly enough, the view that I have as the Chief Growth Officer is much more holistic than the typical marketing leader. Because contrary to popular belief, if I'm advising a franchise owner, I'm actually not starting with marketing. I'm starting with what are your goals, right? What are you trying to achieve for your location, your multi-locations? What are we trying to do? And I'm making sure, I believe that the greatest marketer understands how they have an impact on the P&L.
Yeah.
And so I'm advising you in terms of, let's make sure your labor's on point and let's make sure your cost of goods are on point. Now that we're there, now let's look at your sales KPIs.
Yeah.
Are you closing appointments? Are you cross-selling? Are you upselling? Because if you're not focused on those 5 things first, as a responsible leader of my brand, I can't advise you to spend a lot of money on marketing. Yeah. So it's always a different approach.
No, that's interesting. You're already talking about the customer experience.
I am talking about the customer experience. So I tend to, when people ask me questions about marketing, I first start with kind of the end in mind. Let's make sure we're all aligned there. We have great goals there, because then as all of your sales and your revenue increase, your profits are increasing, now I can show you where it makes sense to spend money from a dollar standpoint.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Just pause for a second, Dan. Can you just check Larissa's mic as well? Is it pulling? Sorry, hey, is it okay? Can you just check the? Sorry, when you put your hand on your chest, it moved, and I was a bit worried that we might lose sound or something.
That should be fine though.
Yeah, it's pulling through over here?
Yeah, it's pulling through here.
Great.
It's not rubbing against the things.
Anything?
No worries, yeah. Just because it's a little...
I'll pull it down a little bit too.
Perfect, right, great, thank you.
No problem.
Worst thing is, you've done all this, I'm like, I can't hear anything. Well, we'll put some subtitles in. I know what she was saying, it was great.
Yeah, okay, good.
So customer experience, I mean, I think that is such an interesting thing. I was talking to someone, also a marketeer actually, who was saying something similar. I thought that was so intriguing, that having that holistic thought process on the customer experience journey, which actually you wouldn't typically think a marketeer would be talking about, right?
No, and that's really, every marketer has their own journey, and I definitely know that I came into marketing because I'm a creative person.
Yeah.
My whole life was spent in music and theater and dance and the arts, so I knew I didn't want a career in that, but something that could help me keep those creative juices flowing, right? So, but I fell in love with leadership, and I fell in love with franchising.
Yeah.
And I understand how working with a franchise owner, you need to understand what their end game is. Their end game is profits, right?
Yeah.
So if you can tie those profits all the way to the front of the journey, right? When we're talking about creating leads and opportunities, it's a much more rich conversation. You're giving them the value that they really want. And that's a mission of mine. I support and I am on the IFA board of directors. So with my marketing background, that's my mission for marketers, up and coming marketers and franchising, to really educate them and understand how to do that.
I think that is so cool, because actually you're talking about unit level economics, you're talking about having better quality customer journey, which gives you better quality customer reviews, and your product really is on point.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it all comes back to the same thing, and coming back to the franchisees why.
Absolutely. And I will answer your question though, in the very beginning when you talked about where are we getting leads and where are we going from a marketing standpoint. For us, because the brand has been around for 67 years, we did an enormous amount of consumer research a few years back, and we really, I would say, almost stripped the brand of its essence. We went all the way down to our vision, mission, values, right? We realigned our positioning with where consumers are at today in terms of taking care of their vehicle. So doing that has now positioned us to understand that our greatest opportunity was brand awareness.
Yeah.
Once they are aware of the brand, they engage with us, they become a part of our community.
Yeah.
I won't say we're perfect, because nobody is, but we've got the rest of that down.
Yeah.
It's truly the brand awareness. So we're excited about it.
That's very cool. So you've got brand awareness through the fact that, sheer length of time that the business has been around, and it's just there.
Yeah.
And so, a consumer will just pick it up, it'll be in their subconscious. But if you wanted a franchisee in an area that maybe somebody hasn't heard about it, what is their 120-day plan?
Yeah, so we take our national campaign, and we've worked really hard on it. We've introduced a new brand icon. You may have seen him around. His name is Bart the Knight, and he's becoming very popular in franchising. But we introduced our national campaign really about 120 right before they soft open, right? So we want to really get the market ready for the opportunity for the franchise owner. Then we're looking at, all different kinds of integrated tactics, whether it's a lot of digital, direct marketing, lots of grassroots thing. We make sure that they're a member of their Chamber of Commerce. We look at car shows and car clubs within the area, and we really make sure that they think about what are they involved in their opportunity, in their local market, that they can then share this new experience with their community.
I think that's really interesting. The kind of connecting the two things. They have to be present in local community and making a valuable difference there.
Yes.
But then they need to be easy to search online.
We really have no franchise owners that don't live, work, and serve their community within the community that they're in. Yeah, we just find it's important.
And when you flip that to the franchisor side, and you think, well, okay, how does that then contribute to FranDev? Because you've been doing that for the last 5 or 6 years now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So interestingly enough, from the time that I began working in franchise development at Ziebart, just on the marketing side to now really leading the entire department, I've noticed a shift in the entrepreneur that's coming to Ziebart. In the past, it definitely had been someone, everybody, you gotta love cars, okay? Like even if you don't wrench on them, you don't have to, but you gotta love cars in some way, and you gotta love your community. I feel like it's those 2 C's that really make that impact for a Ziebart owner. But this new entrepreneur that's coming into Ziebart, very savvy in terms of numbers. I mean, comes to discovery days with like outlines and plans and financial plans and just such a different entrepreneur that we're really excited about, you know, their understanding of truly the profitability and the revenue they could generate.
And that is great, because actually, I was talking to somebody yesterday about the why.
Yeah.
And when you've got issues with a franchisee, you're going back to the why.
Yes.
And here we're really talking about that, aren't we?
Yes.
Saying, well, okay, it's what stage of life you're in. Is it the school fee stage or is it the House of Mexico stage? And
yes,
you know,
absolutely. And it's definitely, what is so exciting to me is that the franchise owner that is coming in is in the same kind of space that most of our franchise owners are too. Being a 67-year-old legacy brand, we've had some owners that have been with us for 40, 50 years. And yes, like we have very low closing rates, very low termination rates. I mean, below 1%. Like,
it's amazing.
Just incredible. So they hang on. They love, you know, this opportunity to be a part of this franchise owner community. But a lot of them are beginning ready to retire, and they want to enjoy what they've done. So between a kind of younger leadership team that we have, plus this new wave of franchise owners that are coming into the system, we all have these same shared values, and I think that's what's making it so exciting right now.
Yeah, I mean, that is super cool. So if you're advising another franchisor, you know, in this space or another space, what would you advise them to do? To say, well, okay, this is how to kind of really kind of ignite the marketing channels and ignite the friend dev lead flow and so on.
Yes, I would definitely say first, just like every good marketer, you need to know, right, who your audience is, who that person is, and you need to be comfortable saying when somebody comes in, they're not the right fit. Because that's never going to help your brand. But from a marketing standpoint, I think, you know, we're really looking at lots of opportunity. There's still a very open lens in the United States right now to be able to accomplish growth for Ziebart. So, same marketing principles, knowing, you know, who your customer is, where you need to be, and to your point, their why. What's important to them. And then just kind of taking it from there. You know, we're a brand that has chosen not to work with brokers. It's just not right for our system right now. It doesn't mean it won't be. And we have in the past. But as this very date, as we're recording this, you know, we're not in that space. So we're really leaning heavy into content and telling our story. And that's what's really different, I think, about our opportunity. That a lot of people, automotive is like this big in franchising, right? So you really got to cast a wide lens.
That's so true. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily think that's the franchise, right?
No.
You know, food and beverage, great. Okay, all day long, there's lots going on there.
And I'll tell you too, something that I share a lot. You know, everybody, I don't have my badge on right now at the conference we're at, but if I did, you'd see it's like a mile long. Well, there's a reason for that, because I believe that the brands that are really having success are involved in franchising. They are members of the IFA. They are leaning into what aligns with their brand. We have 10% of our owners are veterans. Of course we're a part of VetFran. Of course we're sponsoring that. You know, so be meaningful and real about where you are. But I see so many people walking around the hall and there's their name tag and they're not doing anything. And I'm not saying you don't have to be the big overachiever that I am, I get it, but you have to do something, right? Because that's a part of this whole mix too, of telling your story. Like, do you really care for your future franchise owners about making sure that you are, as we've used the term, franchising responsibly?
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because all you're saying is do the same thing you'd advise a franchisee. You're saying to the franchisee, be involved in your community.
Right.
As a franchisor, this is your community.
This is your community, exactly.
And I think that's really, really very interesting. And so, what do you think, from the franchisee level and the franchisor level? I mean, you've got a holistic view being on the board at the IFA, and I'm sure you hear a lot of things, and you're very generous and kind with your time. So I'm sure which is very appreciated.
It's a joy to be a part of it.
And so, what I'd love to hear is what do you think most people get wrong? And you think, gosh, you're going to have a call with someone, and you're going to ask the first 3 questions. Right, this is what the issue is. What is that? Franchisee level and franchisor level.
Not putting profits first.
Yeah.
I think if you don't even understand where they're coming from, and you don't have the technology, the coaching internally at your brand, and that coaching is not just your field team, right? Really, your whole team should understand how they affect the P&L.
Yes.
I fully believe that.
Yeah.
So I think definitely it's about profits. I also believe that it's about people.
Yeah.
On both sides. If you aren't thinking through your culture and your values and aligning the right people with your values, holding them accountable to your values, and helping them see a growth pattern through your own inspiration for them.
Yeah.
I think that that's key too. And then it's celebration, right? Like, we all work really hard.
Yeah, it's true.
And our franchise owners work really hard.
Yeah.
And that acknowledgement and opportunity of all they give of their time, their talents, their investments, you have to celebrate. Don't forget to celebrate that.
It's so true. I think it's so easy to forget to celebrate because actually you're constantly just onto the next thing, aren't you? And at every level, I've often had to give myself a talking to.
Grace.
Say,
give yourself grace.
Yeah,
right?
Be kind, right?
Right.
And actually, if a team member did the same thing, I'd be high-fiving the heck out of them.
Yeah.
And if it's me, I'm saying, why didn't you do it better?
Right.
So I absolutely, and I think as a business owner, you inevitably do that.
Yes.
So that is really a lovely piece of advice there. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you about, Larissa, is you've got this interesting piece around who you sell to. And I'd love to understand, what is a red flag and a green flag for you when you're talking to a franchisee?
Yep. So definitely I would say a green flag is that you see that they understand what being a leader is, because they're going to be the leader no matter if their store, our typical store has on average 6 employees. That includes technicians who are doing really hard work sometimes on cars to clean, enhance, and protect them. To people in the front who are, say on the front lines every day. They're working with our customers and drivers around the world to help them clean and protect their vehicle for as long as they own it. So understanding those dynamics, understanding that you're the coach, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's going to be on your bench? And I think that that's the same for us. So when they come into our system, do we see a seat for them on the bench? Do we see that they're not just going to come in, turn the key, open the door every day, do what they need to do, and leave? They're investing in this brand. We want them to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
So if we say, put me in, coach, and he's saying, or she is saying that to us, what does that really mean? I ask that question at our discovery days all the time. Like, where do you see yourself in this community, and how do you see your greatest impact?
That's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, really insightful, actually, because I think it's too easy just to say yes.
Right.
Check, please.
Right.
But actually, it's really hard to say no.
We've said, and to your point, we've said no.
Yeah.
And the no's are hard because the no's sometimes have gone all the way to discovery day.
Yeah.
All the conversations over Zoom, all the phone conversations, everything was great. But then you came to discovery day, and you know what? When we had our dinner with the executive team and I sat down with you, I'm not really hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth. I'm looking at everything else. I'm looking at how you're treating people. I'm looking at, how you're engaging. I'm looking at when you come into our office and you meet our entire team. How are you treating the team? What are the type of questions you're asking? It's not about can you do the job or not. Like, you've come this far, we know you probably could, but can you be a truly impactful part of this community?
I think that is it, really, isn't it? What you're looking at is all of the other stuff.
Yes.
Not what you're saying, what you're doing.
Exactly.
So, Larissa, one of the ways I usually end this podcast is by asking the question to the guests. And the question is, if you were advising someone on how to get their first million or next million in business, what would be the one piece of actionable advice that you'd give them?
I would say that it really boils down, again, I'm really all about your people. I don't believe that you can grow a business, that you can grow, whether it's one location in franchising to hundreds, whether it's a new franchise brand that you're an emerging brand and you're bringing that to market and you want to kind of grow from there, grow your team at your office or your location, wherever you may be. If you're not connected and you don't understand people's why, it's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. You're going to always have those roadblocks. So take everything else down. Remember that as a leader, you're the inspirer of change and growth.
I love that. That's really very wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. It was so
pleasure.
great. So great. And I finally got out of a conference hall. I got fresh air.
You got some fresh air. And I hope you enjoyed tuning in as much as I enjoyed filming. Thank you, and until next time.